There's 3 chairs at the front. You got yourself. You got to play yourself. You got to play the victim, and then you play someone that's you impacted. So I'm playing the victim. They're asking me, if you were in that situation, how would you feel, and how are you recovering from this? And I'm like, if I was in that situation, feeling as in the victim, if someone ran into my house, that's one thing I'll never forget.
Before this episode begins, we want to acknowledge the people who were harmed by our actions in the past. We take full responsibility for the harm we cause. Nothing in this series is intended to excuse or glorify that behavior. We're sharing these stories to be honest about what happened, to show what change can look like, and to help others build a better path. We used to lead bad. Now we're trying to lead good.
Youth crime rates, the highest they've been since records began.
Victoria is cracking down on youth offenders with children as young as 4.
Melbourne is fed up with the youth crime crisis.
Too many children are just slipping through the cracks.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Lead Good podcast series. My name's Lewis Martin. I'm your host. Episode 2 is titled Adult Crime, Adult Time. My co-host, Judo, 24-year-old South Sudanese-born Australian man who grew up in Melbourne, has committed the most serious of crimes and has served several years in prison and is currently on parole. We've talked about in the opening, you've seen that he was once one of those menacing figures we've all seen on the 6pm news. Challenging part of this story of how justice was served for 6 years in the offence and what led to the offence. It's challenging, but it's a critical part of the story. So Judo, in 2020, you're sentenced to 6 years for aggravated burglary, as we know, known to the rest of us as home invasion. Can you take us to the period of time that's, you're 18 at this point, you have been through youth detention, which, as we've shared with our listeners and viewers, that we'll talk about that period at a later date. But you're 18, you're at home, working. Take us through that life at this particular point for you.
I'm 18. I'm living my life. I'm trying to do good. I'm trying to stay out of trouble. Trying to get back into football. Just trying to do the right thing. Just trying to keep my head. You're
playing footy.
Playing footy. Yep. On a straight and narrow. And yeah, just honestly, time. Over time, it gets tough. When you don't have a job.
You're out of custody.
Yep.
You're on a parole or a supervision order.
Yeah,
youth supervision order, and you're 18.
Mm.
Are you looking for a job?
Yeah, I'm looking for a job, yeah.
Do you get a job?
No, I don't.
At this point in time, coming out of custody, are you hopeful? Are you having a go?
I'm hopeful and I'm confident, but it's just, it's hard. Mm-hmm. It's hard, trying at that point, I didn't have the, things in, strong enough things in place to really remove me from that environment, it's hard, as an 18-year-old, what would you do? How would you move yourself from your peer groups that you've known for a while? It's hard. It's not easy.
Probably the only way was to move away, literally location. That's not an option for you, but it certainly was for me. But having been at that age, I moved away and went to Northern Australia. But that's not available to you at this point. You're living at home with mum. In the high-rise still in North Melbourne?
Yeah.
So you're 18 years of age, just out of...
No, not in the high-rises, sorry. In the house now.
You're in a house?
Yeah.
Okay.
My sister moved out at this point.
Okay, so how many in the house?
5 of us.
Yeah, with mum, and time goes on, right? You're out of custody, you're at home, you're trying to get a job, but you're getting knocked back?
Yeah. It's just not working out, to be honest. People tell you, go get a job, go get this. It's easier said than done, It's not easy.
Did you have any skills in that area?
I didn't, but I was willing to, learn, take the time, whatever it took, study or whatever it was, but I just wasn't getting an opportunity.
But you are on a supervision order?
Yes.
You are trying to get a job?
Trying to get a job, yeah.
Playing footy?
Playing football, yep.
It's mid-year?
Yeah. So it's slowly it's there, but the foundation's not strong enough.
What happens?
Oh, just honestly, it came back down to peer group. Honestly, it was.
You had a choice though.
Oh, of course, everyone's got a choice.
The easiest choice was to go to that peer group, right?
The easiest choice was to go back to the peer group. Mm. It's just one of them things where these are the people that I called my friends, my brothers, my family.
So what you go out one night?
Oh look, honestly, I was with them, but I just didn't do the things they were doing.
Oh, so you. Oh, okay. So those guys are off doing their stuff, right? And you're going,
But
hey, I'm
yeah,
going to have a crack here this period of time.
Yeah, exactly right.
How long did that period of where you were genuinely being able to say? Because did they accept that? Did they accept?
Yeah,
it?
they accepted it, of
Oh,
course.
okay.
Yeah.
That's encouraging.
Like 4.5, 5 months.
4.5, 5 months. You're having a go.
Yeah.
Your old peer group. You're saying, guys, I'm happy to come out, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to commit any crimes. I'm not going to do anything stupid.
I'm not going to take drugs. I'm not going to do none of that.
Right. Okay.
You know?
And then what?
And then just
Wheels fall off at some point.
And then the wheels fall off at some point. Exactly.
How did
right.
that? What? Tell us about the wheels falling off.
It was just like, one mate, a very good mate of mine. He got out of custody. He was in custody with me at the same time. Then I got out before him, and then he was coming out a few, 4 months, whatever, after me. So then he got out. Then he was still on the path of just doing whatever he wants to do. So, and then we caught up. And then he was like, let's just chill one night. Take some drugs or whatever, this and that. And
What
then,
is it? Marijuana? Or?
Marijuana, yeah, just have some marijuana, this and that, and then one night turned into like I accepted it that one time, and it was just like.
And what is it? A group of you in a house, or?
No, it was just honestly just me, him, and like another mate, and then that one time that I accepted it just ruined everything that I was working hard for, and I didn't know like the method, like I didn't know that. The skills and the knowledge that I have now, people are always going to mess up, it's how you pick yourself back up, But at the time, I just thought that, you do it once, you fucked everything up, and that's it, there goes everything, you fell for it. And then, you have to go on with that lifestyle. But you don't really have to, at all, But at that time, I didn't know. And that's what happened. And, I had it that one time, and after that, I just thought to myself, like, I had it once, I messed up everything, and I might as well just continue on with this life. And then it's just, the wheels fell off, and it's just, one thing led to another.
What's one thing, and what's another?
Like just drugs. I just started taking drugs, started not going home, and then
Hanging out with a gang. Is it a gang?
No, it's not a gang. None of that. It's just a brotherhood. It's everyone that's going through the same thing. It's like everyone it's like a set of belonging. To be honest, yeah.
And what, would you go to a house or?
Yeah, we'll go to a house. We had a house, and then we'll just kick back there, relax.
And there were parents at the house, or was it?
No parents, just us. It's us, young group of boys, yeah.
And then what happens? You start talking about different stuff.
We just chill. Like it's just kick back. It's like a kickback spot. It's a safe place for everyone, that doesn't want to go home or whatever, Yeah, we just kick back there for a bit or whatever, and then one thing will lead to another. Like boys, if they wanted to go do a sort of crime or this or that, whatever,
you talk about that sort of stuff in this group.
Right.
So it's a safe place for you, but not a safe place for the community.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So you would in that group in that home, was it like
so just find a way? No, it's just a way where we can just go find a way to make money, knowing that no one's going home, no one's doing anything. No one's got a job, no one's going home. You need to have money to do what you want to do. So you got to find a way to make money, and that's what we were doing, trying to find a way to make money.
And what would you do to make money?
And anything. It could be any type of crime, but mostly just armed robberies.
You're heading towards a home invasion, right?
Yeah.
We're on our way to a home invasion.
Yeah, the crime that I committed right now. Yes.
How does that? What's the lead up to that?
It's just one of them.
What was the motivation behind? Where are we?
Retaliation.
Retaliation. What are you retaliating for?
Something that happened to a good friend of mine.
So a good friend from that house, or where you used to hang out?
Yeah, a good friend of mine. Yep, he was shot a night before I committed my offence. He was shot the night before at Chapel Street for a mistaken identity. Then it was just one of them things that we just had to try and find out who it was. We found out who it was, and then it was like, yep, it's time to retaliate. Now we know who the person was, and it was time to retaliate. And then that's when I committed the crime.
Okay, so emotions are super high.
Yeah.
A mate's been shot.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? Chaos.
Yeah. You're on drugs. You got one thing in your mind, and you got this mission, and you're trying to get it sorted, get it done.
But where does an innocent Victorian get involved in this? So you've got vengeance on your mind, and then so your friend gets shot on a particular night, and the next night you invade someone's home. Why? What was the link between the shooting and the home invasion? What were you?
to get vehicles,
To get cars,
getaway cars.
And why did you need getaway cars for the
To get away.
Right. So you. Oh, okay. Sorry. So I get it. Mate gets shot. Emotions are high. You want vengeance. In order to
Get the vengeance.
you need cars.
Yeah, vehicles.
So do you go back at that house? Are you back at that group, that house where you're all together, and then start plotting the idea of getting? How is it? How does it work?
It wasn't even time to plot or plan. It was just one of them things like, yeah, it's got to be done right now, and let's get it done.
Emotions are high. We're on the day of you committing a home invasion. If the 24-year-old Judo goes in to speak to the 18-year-old Judo at this point, like we talked about when he was is there anything he can do at this moment that you can do for the young Judo, or is it too crazy?
There's always something you can do.
It is all right.
There's always something you can do. Especially as a lived experience, there's always something you can do. Especially when you've been down that that path already, and you can see someone on the verge of going down that path, and you know how it feels, and you know what it takes, and you know what can happen.
Yeah, you know
and
what's coming.
All it takes that one split decision.
Yeah.
Either way, it can change your life.
Yeah. A lot of lives get changed in the next 24 hours. So you're looking for cars.
We find a house. It's got 3 cars. We go.
Got the cars you want.
Yep.
Is there a particular type of car you want?
Just luxury cars, fast luxury cars.
They want to be fast, and they need to be fast to get away from
police. Get away from the crime scene.
Do you do a lap? Like, is there a few of you? You do a lap.
Yeah, we'll do a lap. Find one.
That's the house.
Yep.
Park near the house.
Yep. Park around the corner.
Put a hood on.
Yep. Ski, mask, everything. Do what you got to do. Jump the back fence. Smash the window.
You smash the window. You go inside.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I look back at it now. It's like it's unreal.
You're inside the house.
Inside the house, yeah. Just trying to get in, trying to get out. You got people yelling, screaming, traumatized. This is someone's home you're breaking into. This is their safe place, and you're taking that away from them.
You're not feeling that at that point, though.
No, not at all.
They're the last people on your mind, aren't they?
Exactly right.
So these people are aware, they're awake. Family.
Yelling for their lives.
Yeah. You demand the keys. What?
Yeah, we find the keys, and then as soon as we find the keys, we exit the house. Yeah.
Can you still recall the terror in their voices and do you still go back and think?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's one thing that when I did, it's one thing I can't get over. Even to this day, honestly, I can't get over it because, it's just, like I said, it's someone's safe place, and you've taken that away from them. So it's not easy. And that's what, these young people don't understand. That's the life of crime and the life of, doing what they're doing, and the people that they're traumatized, they don't understand how the impact that they leave on families and victims. So this is a big reason why I try to mentor these young kids and tell them, like, trying to help them understand that it's worse than what you think it is.
How long are you in there for in their home?
Less than 2 minutes.
2 minutes. But 2 minutes in your lifetime in theirs.
Exactly
lifetime.
right.
Because there's victims throughout this whole youth crime. So we've got a family. You get out of the house. So what happens then? You leave them behind.
Leave them behind. Not caring, to be honest. Not caring at all what they're going through, or if they're okay. No, you don't care about that.
Jump in the cars. Where do you go in the cars?
Jump in the cars and just go back to that spot, to that house. But
park up and
park up. But we didn't make it back to the house. So we're being followed by, like, halfway through on our way back, we're being followed by a police chopper, And then by the time we parked up the cars, it was on, like the foot race.
Oh, so the police chopper, so that vision that we see on the news of the heat camera, where car parks and people run out like rats off a ship, just run everywhere, right? And that's you guys at that point. So you park up, you realise the police chopper from the big spotlight on you, or you park up, stop the car, bang, and you're off. You hightail it. Can you recall that moment running through the street? Are you running through a park or a street?
Running through the streets, back streets, alleyways, you name it.
And do you know where you headed? Or
I knew where I was headed.
Oh, you knew where you were going?
Yeah.
Where were you going?
I was going into the flats. For me, that's probably the safest place I could probably go. 'Cause if I made it into the flats, which didn't really matter, but if I made it into the flats, in my head, I thought I was safe, you know.
Because you had someone, you knew where to go.
Yeah, but not even that. You in a flat, you in a flat that's got 20 levels, you know.
Hard to find.
Exactly right. Rather than being on the street where you can, you know, get sniffed down by canines or whatever, you know, or police just non-stop, and you just got to be, you know, stuck in a place or in the bush for how long. So I made it to the building, but it was just like the building that I made it into was like, you know, they had security downstairs, and the security, which was a whole bunch of, like, the security was like, you know, he went to this level, he went to this place, and this and that. Even though I didn't get off at the level, but it was like, still, you know.
But you go into a house, and
yeah, I go into a house. Yeah,
the police haven't caught you.
Nah, I go into a house, I make it, I knock on the door, you know, they let me in. Some lady lets me in.
Yeah. A friend of yours that you knew, yeah.
Yeah, the owner of the house. She lets me in, and then I'll tell her, you know,
You're huffing and puffing. You've been running.
Exactly right, huffing and puffing, tired, been up all night, and I'm like, you know, just don't open the door to anyone at all before letting me know. And she's like, yeah, no worries. And then
next thing you know,
you
fall asleep. Or?
Yeah, I'll go rest my head for a little bit, and then like an hour later, not even an hour, 45 minutes later, I wake up and I'm in handcuffs.
Cops have got you.
And that's that. Yeah,
we're pumped. They've done their job.
Yeah.
So the cops bang, 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 knock on the door, storm in, grab you. That's the kind of vibe. And then what are you, in a daze, or what do you know what's going on? Or, you know,
there's nothing I can do. I just accepted it. I accepted. It's like you're being defeated. Like you know.
You were defeated.
Yeah. Your time is up.
Cops put you back in a divvy van.
Yeah, back in the divvy van.
I'm thinking about mum again. You got to call mum at some point, because you are 18 years of age now, mate.
Yeah, big boy time.
Because we know what's coming. 6 years is coming. You probably.
We don't know it at the time.
We don't know it at the time, but you're probably thinking you're in deep shit.
Oh
now.
yeah. You know you're in deep end. Oh yeah, not at the time I didn't really know. At the time I didn't know it's in deep end, you know. Until I got until I got to the police station, and it was like
So you get to the police station, you recall that. Cops throw the book at you, right?
Yeah.
They're doing their job. Lawyer turns up for you?
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't even bother with the lawyer. I didn't even bother. Didn't even bother with a lawyer. Didn't even bother with the interview. Didn't even bother with bail. Didn't bother with nothing. Just accepted it.
Do you recall calling mum?
Calling? Nah. I didn't even call her. I called her probably when I got to the map.
To the remand centre. Mum, it's Judo. How does that go, that conversation?
It doesn't. You just tell her kind of. It's one of them things you don't have it over the phone. You can't have it over the phone. You got to have it face to face.
You're charged.
Yep.
Found guilty. Sentenced.
Yeah.
We talked about in the opening of episode 1, 6 years. You're in the back of a back of a prison van in a little tiny cubic area, I guess, like a telephone box kind of vibe with a little tiny window.
Yep.
That truck stops. That van stops. You step out. You're at Ravenhall. Share that with us. You're scared. You're in, as you say, big boys now.
Yeah, not really, to be honest. I was more worried about fucking how the fuck am I gonna get out of here? You know, I'm about to be here for a while.
Yeah, 6 years. At 18, that's a lifetime.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, you do the crime, you do the time. I couldn't really, honestly, I couldn't really. Oh, look, I was shattered, but like, what humbled me real fast was like going around asking, and you know, people telling me, oh, like, you know, how long did you get? And I told them I got 6 years. Oh, they're like, oh yeah, you'd be right. You know, you can get out in no time. You know.
We'll get to the general population, but when you arrive in there, your process is there a significant difference between that and, say, youth detention? When, like, I've never been in this environment. I'm not familiar with that at all. Is there a difference between youth detention and adult prison?
Yeah.
What is the difference that you experience?
It's like you know, it's just more people. You know, you gotta. Then it was like I was like probably, you know, it was like, what is it, 13, whatever. 13 to what, 18 or 21 to 21.
To a unit.
Yeah. You know, no, the age.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. 18, it's like what, 13 to like 18 or 21. And then you got adult prison, it's like 18 to like 80. Yeah, right.
You know? It's like, now you got like a bigger variety of people, bigger variety of age, you know? So it's like.
Is it noisy?
Oh, yeah, always. Yelling, screaming, people coming off the drugs, people angry for whatever reason, people mentally not there, people just yelling for the sake of yelling, people just chatting, you know. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on.
You step out of the van, okay, then you got handcuffs on, and
even just even at the holding cells, at the admissions, it's loud.
Yeah,
because you got like 30 people that all want to get processed, or want to go back to the unit.
Yeah,
you know, and go to general population, because that's like rock bottom. When you're at the admissions, like, you know, there's so much people and you gotta wait, and they're not just gonna do one by one and then like let you out, let you go. No, they do everyone first. Like they strip search you, you know. They do your. So
you're totally naked. Your strip shirts. It's like we see in the movies.
Yep. Yeah. Squat, cough, everything. Do it all, you know. And then, you know, you do, what do you call it? You do your admission, like, you know, your paperwork and your medical, and then, you know, it's just like health and all this nonsense. And then yeah, like, you know, once everyone is done, then you go back to the unit all together or whatever. Then you go to your groups, like you're going to this unit, you're going to the other, you're going to, and yeah, there you go.
So you go into general population.
Yeah.
You've been strip searched, done all that sort of stuff. That's got to be pretty humiliating, but that's what's got to be done. Gone through the process into general population. How do you find a cell? Are you allocated a cell, or how do you know which room to go to?
No, you allocate a cell. But then when you allocate a cell, it's like, you know, you got a cellmate. You know, you have a cellmate, and you can't really, you know, like, you got to share with someone else. But then most of the time, you can just change it anyway, you know. That's what I done. That's, you know, I changed my cellmate. So
how did that go? Well, so you moved into a cell with one guy?
Yeah, I spent the night with him. And then, because I came after hours, spend the night with him, and then the next day I'm like, hey, man. Like,
he's in his cell, then the door opens up, in walks you.
Yeah.
He's an older guy?
Yeah.
You go to the top bunk, bottom bunk, or?
Bottom.
You go in the bottom bunk?
Yeah.
And then you're lying there in your first night in adult prison, sharing it with another guy?
Yeah. Random. Don't even know him from bar side.
And then you come out the next day and you go, hey, I need...
Come out the next day, I see who I'm with, and you know what's going on, and then like, a few people that I know of, and then yeah, like, you know, we sort something out, and then, you know, we just do a straight swap. You know, he goes to another, and the person that I was...
How do you feel about that? Is that a bit awkward?
No.
He was okay with it? You said, I'm moving house, or?
It was one of them things like...
It's quite normal, is it?
Yeah, it's quite normal.
Right, okay. Are you at this point justice has been served, right? As far as the community is concerned, are you at this point starting to feel remorse and starting to recognise that you've deserved this, or you're just, we're in the early days of a 6-year sentence. What's happening in your mind regarding your remorse, the victims?
Look, for me personally, yeah, I had remorse since the day dot. Like the moment I went into custody, I'm like, yeah, you know, like however long I get, it's what, like, you know, it's what I deserved, you know. everything happens for a reason. I look at it like that, and like, you know, like there's no time you can put on, you know, on trauma. You know what I'm saying? If you get what I'm saying.
How do you mean? What do you mean?
Like,
it could be 6 weeks, could be 6 years. It could
no. I said there's no time you can put on trauma, as in like, no matter how long I get, yeah, it's still not gonna make up for what the other people are going through.
the victims. Oh, okay. Sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, okay. That's true.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime experience
Exactly
for them.
right.
They-
Like I got 6 years of my life.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be traumatized for the rest of their life.
And they didn't choose to be victims.
Exactly right.
You made that choice.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So
You're in-
it's just one of them things. Yeah.
You're in prison. Staring at 6 years. Mum comes for visits, family visits. How does that? What are the first things you start learning about being an adult prisoner in those early years? You mean, it's like, did you get a job? What are you doing there?
Well, the first two years, I was just running amok. Didn't care, to be honest.
Oh, you're still a dick at this point.
Oh, bad. I was running amok, man. You know, getting into arguments with officers and getting into little scraffles in and out, you know, talking back, you know, just having that, that just wasn't, I just still a kid, like, you know, you could tell I was immature. You know, everyone's mature, everyone's like a bit older, but I was just like, nah, I don't care.
So for the first couple of years or whatever, you're not a model prisoner at all.
Not at all. Last for me.
Have you got a job in there?
No.
You don't even have a job.
That was another problem. Why? I didn't have a job, and like, you know, I kept getting into trouble because you need a job.
Oh, how do you get a job?
You just go work in the factory.
Right, but you chose not to.
No, no. I didn't want to work in the factory.
And if you didn't want to work, you didn't go to work. Is that right?
Yeah,
Wow. I would have just assumed that if you're in prison, mate, you're going to work whether you like it or not.
but you have to go. You have to, but you can't. It's mandatory, but they can't force you. Like, it's mandatory to go, but then they'll just cut off. Like, you know, you don't get paid. You can't make phone calls. You can't eat.
So if you don't get, how much do you get paid when you're working in there?
I don't know, you probably get like $30 a week.
All right, and then that money you spend. How do you spend that money?
You can go canteen. You can make a phone call, things
Right.
like that. You know.
So that money goes back into what could you buy at the canteen?
Oh, a lot of things.
Like chocolate bars and
Chocolate bar, yeah, tuna, this and that.
Oh, and it just
Noodles.
like it's like a 7-Eleven type. You can buy them,
Yeah.
and like
Toiletries and all that. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
And so that money that you earned in the factory or whatever during that period, and what about other prisoners? What's your relationship with other prisoners like at that point? While you being a bit of a jerk?
I was good with people. I was good, especially to my own people.
Yeah, but not with authority.
Nah.
Mum turning up?
Yeah, Mum turned up. Yeah, she turned up a lot.
How often?
Oh, like every week.
Mum would come and visit you every week.
Yeah.
And when you would get a visit from Mum, did you get did you know she was coming, or that there was
Yeah.
Judo, come down, Mum's here, or
Yeah.
is that how it worked? Is it?
Yeah.
So you would. What day would she come down?
On the weekends.
Right.
I come on the weekends. She come. Yeah, sometimes every jail's different, but in the morning or in the afternoon, whenever she can. You know, whatever time
Brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
Would come as well?
Yeah.
And so how long would those visits last?
An hour, 2 hours.
And you would just sit and talk and...
Sit and talk, yeah. She'll check up on what's going on with me, how's everything going with me, and I'll ask the same. I'll ask them, you know, how's the family, how's this, how's that. It was good. It was actually, honestly, it was actually good. Because, you know, like when I was out, I didn't have these type of deep and meaningful conversations with my family, you know.
Are you starting to have them though in these visits?
Yeah, but it's just sad because it came down to me being in prison for us to have this type of conversation, and we should be having it regardless.
What type of conversation? What would you talk about?
Just about everything, like, you know, how's the kids, how's other family members going, you know, and like how's she feeling, how's
You're asking your mum this?
Yeah, like I never used to ask my mum like that, you know. So
Starting to grow up by the sound of it.
exactly right, yeah. And then now to this day, I still
Because
have
up to this point, mate, you're a long shot of coming good. Because let's face it, you're 20 odd years of age. You've been a long-term offender. You're being let's face it, a dickhead in prison. But something switches. I feel like there's a switch happening. You've just said you're starting to have real conversations. So
yeah.
you're 20, 2 years in.
Yeah, 2 years in. Yeah, around. Yeah, that's probably that was my turning point. Like 2 years
okay.
in.
All right.
2 years in. You know, I was, you know, in and out of out of the slot.
What's the slot?
It's just 23-hour lockdown.
So that was the consequence of being poor behaviour. You're in
Isolation. Yeah.
isolation, like solitary confinement type, for 23 hours a day.
Yeah.
In a cell on your own.
Yeah.
For how long for at times?
6 months.
You'd be in there for 6 months.
Yeah, 3 months, 4 months, 7 months, 8. Yeah, just random.
That's how long you did in solitary. You must have been a pain in the ass, mate.
Yeah.
During that time in solitary, 23 hours a day, right? You had an hour. What did you do in the hour out? Just walk around and get exercise?
Walk around, make a phone call, do a couple chin-up bars, and just go back.
Watch telly?
Yeah.
What were you watching on telly?
I watch, what do you call it, like Home and Away, Neighbours. I watch Channel 7 News.
Footy and all that sort of stuff?
Oh, I used to love the footy, yeah. Loves footy, sport, every sport, you name it.
On the news, for example, when you used to watch the news and there'd be, those menacing images that cause a lot of anxiety for all of us, of hooded kids and gangs and machetes and home invasions. Whilst you're sitting there in solitary confinement, does that connect with you?
No.
It doesn't. You still don't. You don't see yourself in that image?
No. No. Wait. I just look at them like, wow, these kids are wilding out. They're going crazy. These kids need help. But I didn't know at that time, like I didn't have that mindset, like I didn't have that idea of me being a lived experience mentor, But I knew these kids needed help. I'm like, but go find help somewhere else, that wasn't me, Until a couple inmates told me, like, after I hit that turning point in my life where they told me, pull your head in.
Who told you to pull your head in?
A couple of older inmates. They told me.
Some older inmates?
Yeah. They told me pull my head in, like.
What'd they actually say to you?
They told me, like, you should think about your family. Like, you got your mum out there that's, that needs you. Your mum's a single mother. You're the oldest son, you're the oldest boy. You should be a leader. You should stop fucking around wasting your time with all these, knuckleheads in here. And, you're better than this, you got a bright future ahead of you, and you're a leader. And then they used to tell me, like,
they saw something in you.
Yeah, they told me, like,
none of else have seen at this point.
Yeah, and then they used to tell me, like,
maybe Marcus, the footy coach, earlier on, but
and they used to tell me, like, you're a leader. You're like, you should get out and do this. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, bro. Like, until, like, they said put my head in all that. I'm like, yeah, sweet, I will, 'Cause you're right. And parole's coming up. Like,
parole, what does that mean? So
parole's like when you serve the rest of your sentence.
Yes, I know, but parole's coming up, right? So you're 2 years in. So parole period's what, 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a 6-year sentence.
Yeah.
With a parole of with 4 year.
4 years of non-parole period. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So 2 years comes up, and older prisoner says to you, "Pull your head in."
You got parole coming up.
He talks to you about that.
He talks to me about parole. I didn't think that I was gonna get parole. I thought I was gonna do my whole 6 years. But like, no, parole's coming up. You can get parole. You're young. You're still young. You still got your whole life ahead of you. You got a family. Don't waste your time. Arguing back. Or dealing with these other. Jailbirds. Basically. Telling me just pull your head in. Do the right thing. Stay away. Stay with us. Do whatever you got to do. If you need anything, just let us know. We'll help you out. Things like that. And then I'm like, all right. Sweet. Like I got people that really care about me in here. There is good people. Don't get me wrong. There is good people in there, but I didn't think like that good. People that would actually sit you down and really give you advice. Basically, lived experience. Like
he was a lived experience mentor.
Exactly
so he's
right.
at that old. How old is he about? Over 40, over 50?
40, yeah, 40.
So he's pulled you aside and said, so you start the parole process, right?
Yeah. And he helped me with it too.
Did he?
I had to apply it and everything. Yeah,
but are you, at that point in time, are you just ticking boxes and playing the game to get out? I mean...
well, with my when I done the programs, that's what I thought I was going to be doing.
Oh, the programs. So, okay, what a program. Like, so you have to do a number of things.
You had to do one program, and this was a violent program. Because you have a violent offend.
Yeah.
You've done violent offending, so you have to do a violent program. And this violent program...
It's part of your parole.
Exactly, it's part of your parole, and it covers variety of things, But yeah, like I just thought I was just going to tick boxes and, smash it out and...
Play the game.
Play the game, exactly.
Tell them what they want to hear.
Exactly right, But then, to be honest, it wasn't like that. It was, far from it. I really thought I did. But this is why these psychologists are professionals. They read through bullshit, you know.
Oh, yeah, right.
And that's what
they can tell if you're trying.
Yeah, exactly right. That's what they've done with me. They read through my bullshit, you know, and
right. So we're starting to get some serious operators now.
yeah, and then exactly right. And these are, and like you said, this is another person that's a very a vital
A psychologist.
Yeah, psychology is a very vital part of my turning, like my of my turning point. And this is what really helped me think outside the box and really think about everything that I've done in the past. You know, because at this point, like
You're 2 years in, you're starting to do programs. So you're doing is the violence or a program? Is that about you understanding why you commit violence?
Why you commit violence? Why they want to understand why I committed violence, and they just go deep. They tap in deep into my like childhood life and like my peer group and my drug abuse and everything, and they just break it down, like break it down. Just imagine doing all these things, and even your thought process, like why do you think the way you think, you know? And they break it all down into little parts of sessions, and then you to the point where you understand it yourself. Like yes, they're gonna look, they got the overlook, they understand it, they see, oh yeah, we see this type of things a lot, and then they break it down so small. You don't have to be the smartest person. You could be the dumbest person in the room, and they'll break it down so small for you to understand. And that's what for me. That's what happened. They broke it down for me, and I understood every little thing. And like now, when I do certain things, like now I never used to think. I used to do things and think about it later. Now I think about everything I do before I even do it. You know, so it
gave you skills.
Gave me skills I thought I never had.
So you've gone from just ticking boxes to starting to see an impact.
Yeah.
What was a program that impacted? Like, so just the one program, or you had several programs?
That program was one turning point. Like that was one of them. That was one of them. And like once I done that program, to the point is like,
because that's when you had to do.
Yeah, I had to do it. It was mandatory for me to get parole. So I done that program, and then when I finished it, like it took me 9 months to finish. When I finished it, I'm like, oh my God. Like I learned so much from this program. So then I'm like, okay, let me see what else I can learn from other programs. So I started applying for programs, and I applied for anger management. I applied for parenting program. I done drug and alcohol. And, I just kept on ticking boxes.
Anger management. Give us an example. Can you share with us an anger management? Because anger, you've been angry for
exactly right
throughout all the years.
Exactly
Anger's played a big part. So
yeah, it played a big part, and it just honestly, it came down for me. It just came down about my thought process, not giving myself like thinking, like doing things out of emotions, doing things, just reacting on every little thing. Like you don't have to react on everything. Sometimes you can just take a step back, go do something, go, distract your mind, and then come back and react to it, or come back and answer certain things, And that's what it came to. I just used to do things straight away. I never used to give myself time to really breathe, settle, or cool down, or it just let things really settle down in my mind, and I just used to react, and that's what always used to get me in trouble. And I always react out of anger, because I was a very emotional kid. I had so much emotions bottled up in me.
There's victims everywhere here. Is there a part where the victims come into your therapy, like
the whole like for the first program, most of it was about it was like just to understand like what you'd done, and then there was like one module. It's called victim awareness, and that's when they talk a lot about victims. They talk a lot about putting yourself in their place.
Oh, how does that happen?
That's when like I came into the session one day, and they had 3 chairs, and that's when the first chair I had to play myself. Second one I had to play the victim.
Sorry, you walk in a room. Okay, that's it. Give me your picture here.
So you walk into
the
room.
prisoners are there?
Yeah, the people that are in the program.
Yep.
So there's 10 of us. There was 10 of us.
10, yeah.
So the people that are in the program, everyone sits down, you grab a chair, you sit down, and then there's 3 chairs at the front. Everyone takes that.
And the psychologist is in there.
And the psychologist, they're on the side. They're just facilitating the program.
Right.
There's 3 chairs at the front. You got yourself. You got to play yourself. You got to play the victim, and then you play someone that's you impacted deeply, And everyone went, and then it was my turn.
Right.
I got up. I'm like, all right, I've done myself. I understood, like what I've done. But it was just like me. That's just me. I understood what I done. Now I understand.
You're addressing the group.
Yes,
right?
I understand what I done. You know, it was tough. It wasn't easy. Then I had to play the victim. And
When you were you're playing the victim. You're going back to that family. You go.
that family,
Wow. Yeah.
so I played.
Honestly, are you doing it? Are you just,
No, I'm
this
dead
is
ass.
genuine.
Yeah, this is genuine. Because at this point, I'm like, this is like probably the last module, or the second last module left in the program, and there was like 10 modules. So I'm playing the victim. You know, they're asking me, if you were in that situation, how would you feel, and how are you recovering from this? And I'm like, you know, if I was in that situation, feeling as in the victim, if someone ran into my house, that's one thing I'll never forget. You know, till the day I'll die. And now, how am I recovering? I sleep with a wooden bat under my bed. You know, I lock my windows every night. I do therapy every week. You know, it's something that I could never get rid of. And like, you know, if I had a chance to speak to the young man, I would love to speak to him. You know, and just get an understanding why. You know, why'd you do it? And then,
If you were the victim, you'd like to speak to the
that's what I said. I said if I was a victim, I would love to speak. Not all victims, you know, and it's understandable. Not all victims would love to ever see the offender or the people that have traumatized them, and it's okay. And then the last chair was I played someone that impacted me, and that was my mum. I played my mum, and it was very hard because my mum looks at me as, you know, like, I know I haven't been the best child, but like my mom still loves me. You know, she still cares about me. She still thinks I'm an angel, and you know, it was just hard because she was very disappointed. She never thought I would ever do something just like this. You know, so it was tough. It was just tough, like trying to play my mom, because I know out of all people, I hurt my mom the most. You know, and yeah, it was just, I was trying to get off that chair probably like the quickest, you know, because it's very touching, you know. Like I nearly teared up on that chair, you know. So yeah, it was just hard, but yeah, it's just one of them things, like, you know, you learn from it, you learn from your mistakes, and then, like, you know, you take it on board, and then you're trying to use that to do better and move forward in life, and those were and that was probably the most impactful thing I've done in my program. Like, that's one thing that left a mark and really, you know, stood with me to this day.
You did a parenting program. You want to be a father?
I want to be a father.
What sort of father do you want to be?
I want to be just a good father, you know, a father that looks after their kids, a father that takes, that supports their kids, you know, through sport, through school, just through everything, just a supportive and caring father. You know, I don't want to be too much. You know, I don't want to say I want to be, you know, $1 million father or whatever. I just want to be the bare minimum. You know, certain things that I didn't have when I was young, I want to, you know, apply them to my kids, you know.
Doing a fatherhood program or a parenting program, that suggests to me that you're starting to really think about a future.
Oh, 100%.
So we're stepping through parole. We're starting to see some, at long last, it's been a long journey for us as a community and for Mum and for you. And we're starting to see some
light,
some genuine. So remember, you still got to prove yourself, even though you're a long way off offending, but we're starting to see, for me at times, let me see if I can get some clear thoughts here, spending time with you and going through these harrowing stories about that menacing person that you once were under the hood, so to speak, and then trying to reconcile that with the person I'm talking to now, it gives me hope, because we talked about the human story under the hood, and there is one. So we start stepping through parole. We're doing programs. We're doing mandatory programs, and then you're starting to choose to do programs, parenting, anger management, really impacting on you. Mum still visiting. Parole. How do we find out? You submit for parole. How does it work?
Yeah, so you apply for it?
Yeah. Oh, can I ask before you go?
Yes,
are you starting to behave better in prison?
Yeah.
You are a better prisoner.
Yeah, my last offending was that 2-year mark. So I was, after that, not offending, but my last
poor behaviour
was that 2-year mark. So then, you know, that turning point, and then after that 2 years on, or 2 years and a half on, I was clean, you know, just staying out of trouble, didn't talk back, didn't do nothing, you know. But yeah, I apply for parole, which one of the older boys older guys help me out with.
So that's like an application online?
Application, yeah. Or you can write online or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
I applied for it. And then it was like
Oh,
questions.
there's no lawyer there for you, a youth worker or someone supporting you?
No.
No, the psychologist in the program?
No, they write their own report.
Oh, sorry, they're separate to that. Okay.
Yeah, they're separate. Like,
Yeah.
but for you, you have to apply for like parole yourself.
Yeah.
So you got people like your case worker and so a staff member that you check in whatever once a month or whatever. They write a report on your behavior and how your behavior changed. Your clinician, which is the psychologist, writes a report on the program.
Was that the clinician who worked in the anger management?
Yep.
And she pushed you.
She supported me. She wrote a report. Yeah, and then that's basically it. And then your officer, your parole officer, which you meet down the track, will write a report.
And you meet all these people before you get out. So your preparation to get out, you haven't got parole yet, but you've done anger management, alcohol, drugs and alcohol. Out of the drugs and alcohol, how did that impact you? What did you learn about drugs and alcohol in terms of the impact on your body, etc.?
It was more about like putting things in place, yeah, that if you do lapse or you relapse, yeah, that you can always pick yourself back up. It's not the end of the world. And that was the problem that I had, like the mindset of having, if I just had one, yeah, I thought, yep, I messed it, I blew it, and like I'll just carry on with my thing. It's not about that. Like people mess up, people, it comes with smoking or drinking or things like that. It's all the same thing. It's all an addiction. And if you're trying to stay clean, yeah, and then you have a slip up or you have a night out, yeah, it's about not giving up and like picking yourself back up and telling yourself, yep, I've had one. All right, now I'm gonna go back on track. I'm gonna go back on focus and keep on doing good. And that's what it was. That's all it was. It was just about me having that mindset of like it's not over. You could always come back from having a lapse or whatever. Whatever you're going through. And when things do get tough, don't turn to drugs or don't turn to alcohol. Don't turn to sport or go to the gym or keep yourself busy or give yourself some something different of a different dopamine, and that's what it's all about. Your body needs to release some dopamine, and that's all it is. Go to the gym, go play footy, go do whatever. And that's basically what it taught me. It taught me that there's different ways of releasing dopamine and getting that hit that you need.
You're making better choices. We're getting close. You're behaving yourself. You're doing your programs. Are you waiting for an outcome? How does it come to you? Are you waiting for the?
So at this point now, yeah, it goes like I've done everything I can do. Now it's just all my reports have to get handed in. Some reports take longer than others and things like that. But I'm waiting for all my reports to get handed in.
Are you spending every day thinking about it, or you just
no? Okay. I just continue on my day. Honestly, I don't let things like that.
You're starting to go to work now, but now that you're a better prisoner, what work are you doing during this time?
I was working in the gym.
Okay.
Yes, that was good, and that's probably what I needed. I needed I didn't want to work in the factory, but yeah, but when you change it, you gotta find a way, and lucky for me, I got lucky with getting the gym and the job, and that really helped me. I was getting good reports from my from work, from the gym. I'll come to work every day. I wouldn't miss a day, things like that, and because I enjoyed it. But yeah, I started getting reports from everyone, and all the people started doing the reports, and it had to come together for my parole officer to write and then I had to get interviewed for suitability for parole.
Who interviewed you?
My parole officer.
Right.
She interviewed me, and then she had to, she got all the reports in, read it all. Wrote a big fat report, sent it off to the parole board, and it was just like a waiting game after that. It was like, they have their process where you get the letter, then they'll tell you, we receive your letter. You gotta wait 4 to 6 weeks or 4 to 8 weeks. Then they'll tell you, we receive your letter, but now you're under consideration. Or we're gonna go check your first before you're under consideration. They go check your address. Make sure your address is suitable for parole.
So they went to your home, to your mum, to your family home, saying, okay, this is where he's going to come and live.
Yep, and then they make sure the GPS monitor works in your house.
Oh, so that's the ankle bracelet.
Yep. Make sure it works in your house. Then they interview your family.
So your mum at that point is dealing with, okay, he's He's applying for parole.
Yeah.
This is a box that we have to make sure that we're complete. We tick that his ankle bracelet's going to work here.
Yeah.
So mum's aware of the process of parole.
Yeah, I've told her. I always let her. I always inform her before. But then and then after that they interview my family. Make sure like, what do you guys think about him coming back home and things like that. You know, they were happy. They're like, yeah, you know, we can't wait for him to come home. We're happy. You know, he's got his room. Everything. It's all good. You know. So that box was ticked. Then he went back. She wrote, you know, that's part of the report that my worker has to write.
Yeah.
So then it goes off. That was the last step. It goes off to the parole board, and then they say, you know, you're under consideration. You got to wait 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks, and then after that, you know, you get a date, and then I got my date with a month over my parole. So I got a date. I had to wait a month
Before you get, hang on. So hang
I
on.
got a letter.
Take us to that moment of getting a letter. So you've been going through this parole process for months, programs.
Yeah, I'm talking 12 months.
12 months, and then one day a letter arrives.
A letter arrives, and it says, you know,
So there's mail call out, and then you're standing there, and they go, Judo, there's a letter for you.
Yep, and then they tell you that parole has been granted, and then you get out on.
You read it. Are you pumped? What are you, like?
Yeah, of course I'm pumped, but like I just don't show it. You know, I don't like showing things like that because me personally, I look at it like, you know, there's people around you that, you know, might not, you know, be getting out anytime soon. And
Yeah,
things
but
like that.
you're pretty elated. I keep going back to mum here, victims and mum. You call mum and say, I've got it.
Yeah.
You got to remember that.
Actually, no. I told her come for a visit.
Oh, you told, okay.
I told her to visit.
She sits down.
Yeah, she sits down, and then I'll tell her, like, you know, I got parole. She's like, oh, no way. And then she was so happy. You know, she gave me a hug, she gave me a kiss, and then like, yeah. Like, but I told her 2 weeks before. So like, you know, I didn't tell her straight away. I told her like 2 weeks before I was going home.
Oh, she only had 2 weeks to wait.
Yeah, yeah.
So you knew how long out from the day?
A month.
A month. 2 weeks later, you sit down with mum and you say, I'm coming home in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm with your mum at that point because she's probably driving back going, my God, like, here we go again. Like she gets her hopes up. But 2 weeks come and we're actually, take us through the day before, the night before.
So
you've been in jail now for how long?
4.5.
4.5 years, and 4.5 years, and it's the night before. What happens the night before?
So the night before, it's just like, oh look, yeah, they threw
Any other night or?
They threw a little. The boys threw a little, you know, like a little go away party, like going home party.
Oh, okay.
It was good, honestly, because it's
in the general population area.
Yeah, in the general population. But at this point, it was like, it was good because, you know, for all these years, 4.5 years, you know, it's always been other people around me going home, and I've been the one trying to organize and trying to, you know, make sure they get the, you know, the good send off, you know, and then finally it's like my turn to get sent off and go home to my family. So yeah, like, you know, all the boys come down and, you know, everyone gives a speech and, you know, they tell me to give me a speech and things like that.
What do they say in the speeches?
They just
love a speech, but and what
they're saying things like, you know, like I've played a big role in their life, in their sentence, and, you know, they like, I'm one person they will never forget, you know. So all speeches were different, but yeah, most of them were saying, like, you know, I'm one person they won't forget. I made their time easy.
So you're all in a party, and party pies and cake or whatever.
Yeah, things like that. Dessert,
and then everyone's standing around and these guys are making speeches.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then everyone's just like, you know, want to miss you. And now it's like, you're at that point where, you know, you close this chapter in your life, and then you go, you know, tomorrow you start a new chapter outside, and you go do the right thing. And, you know, we know you're going to do us proud, and, you know, you're a big leader and a big role model. So
was the psychologist that drove you into, you know, really started to drive you into reform and change, was she at that function or?
No, just all prisoners. But she did see me like a week before.
Okay.
Oh, actually, probably, a couple of days before she seen me.
Do you still have a relationship with her outside?
No, I'm not allowed. No, you can't do that.
Oh, would that be helpful if you did?
Probably, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I reckon it would. It would be good because that's one person that's seen me grow.
Yeah.
And really got it out of me. It made me who I am basically today, you know, like changed my perspective in a lot of things. But yeah, it would be. But yeah, she seen me like a day or two before, and she just gave me. She said, make sure, you know, you stay strong.
Your preparation for coming out, we're 24 hours out now. You're getting out the next day. What were the sort of things that you prepare for, like life admin type thing?
Yeah. Oh, you got things like you get a bank card, you get your ID and making sure just bank card ID and things like that. It's honestly Medicare and yeah.
And that's what you come out
and your
with.
property and things like that. Yeah.
Did you come out with a skill? Did you come out with is there any like a forklift license or
No, I didn't. I done my Cert 3 in business, but that was about it. But when I got out, I did do get my forklift. Yeah.
It's the morning of.
Yeah.
You're 4.5 years in.
Yeah.
And this is the day you're getting out.
Yeah. I treated it like another day. Honestly, I went to work. I got my I ate my breakfast, my oats. I just done the exact same thing. I didn't change it until they called my name. I didn't change it. It was just another day. Honestly, I didn't want to. I don't like things like that get into my head. So I just continue on whatever I'm doing, or I just block it out. And, you got people there saying, "Oh, you going home today? Oh, congratulations, blah, blah." I just kept it like another day, just chill. I also still went to the gym, got a quick pump, things like that. And then, eventually they called my name, went inside, done my last minute property. And then, I got sent off as I was walking out of property.
What are you carrying? Like, do you carry what?
I just carried one bag, honestly. Like most of the things that I had, I just gave it all away. Gave it to all the people that are still there, I just had like one bag, probably just just one bag of like paper and shit. But then I got out of property and I had all the boys there, smiling, laughing, having, just so happy for me,
Oh, they see you off.
Yeah, they see me off. Yeah, and then they're just so happy, waving, and they couldn't believe it, And everyone's just yelling, we know you're gonna do good and things like that. So it was honestly, it was a blessing, honestly. But then I stepped through, I passed that door, and then I go into like, all right, that's like, I've never been on this side of admin, So I go through there, and then bang, I see my mum, I see my brother.
So the first person you see out,
the
door opens up and you're in freedom. And
I see my mum and my brother, and it's so good, honestly. It was like a massive weight lifted off my shoulder. It was actually, to be honest, it was like an unreal moment. Like I still couldn't believe it. I actually still couldn't believe it. Like even on the car ride home, I couldn't believe it. Because it's just one of them things, like, you see so many people go home, you don't think like your day's coming up anytime soon. I felt like a lifer. It was that bad, But then, my day came and it was time to spend the rest, and like they said, it was time to start that new chapter with my family.
Yeah. And the drive home, Mum resonates with me. There's some people that really resonate through this period, but Mum's driving the car and you're sitting alongside you in the front seat.
No, in the front seat.
Going down the highway.
It felt, I don't know, it felt strange, but it was good. Like I felt happy, but I felt like I was in a dream, to be honest. But like my mum couldn't stop smiling, and I couldn't stop smiling. But my brother, my poor little brother, he was car sick. So he wasn't really enjoying it, But like it was good. Like it was just, it was good. Like it was one of them things there, like another thing that you won't ever forget.
So there we are, driving down the highway on the road to hope. It's the first time I'm starting to feel hope. Thinking about your mum, thinking about the community, because right now you're presenting a real opportunity. Episode 3 will open up with arriving home, ankle bracelets, and the future. Looking forward to talking about that. Big time. Before we wrap up, if this conversation resonated with you, make sure you're following us at LeadGoodPod on Instagram and TikTok. Make sure to subscribe and follow us on Apple and Spotify. If you've got questions, or if there's someone you think we should have on the show, send us a DM. We generally want to hear from you. And if you want to support the Lived Experience movement and the Lead Good program more broadly, head to yay.org.au and reach out. That's where the real work continues beyond the podcast.
Thank you for listening to Lead Good. You can follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcast. And if you'd like to stay part of the conversation, you can find us on social media at Lead Good Pod.
Oh, good one.